Adam, thank you for being here.
Riley, thank you for having me.
So there's a lot of speculation right now about what's really going on. Maybe it's a business decision, maybe it's a political one. What are your thoughts?
At the end of the day, as radical as he is, as left as he is, we take that whole, accumulation of culture. It's the media, it's Hollywood, so far left. And they're the only ones that get away with ragging on half of the country, so on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I think it's the economics. What kind of business in America economically can lose $40 million and expect to keep a job? Yet I saw these left-wing protesters outside of CBS yesterday rallying in support of Colbert. It reminds me of these. I used to live in the West Village. I lived in the West Village for 20 some odd years, Riley. And it looks like my neighbors, because I lived next to the same people that were protesting, grungy, upset, mad at the world. And he was like their cult leader, Stephen Colbert. So it's sad for that crew. It's sad that he's going. But I think it just comes down to economics. You lose that kind of money, CBS has to make a move. Paramount has to make a move.
Yeah, completely. Look, to borrow a phrase, they call it show business, but emphasis on the business, right? So I agree with you. I think the bottom line really is that it's a financial move. But I do want to get your thoughts about some of the speculation about this merger that the parent company is trying to get through, because people think that maybe this is about appeasing the White House in some way. I think that's ridiculous and untrue, but I do want to get your thoughts about that because a lot of people seem to have that idea in their minds right now.
All the legacy media have fallen off. Jim Acosta, Andrea Mitchell, Joy Reid, one by one, they've fallen. Their radical thoughts and policy. They sold the American public and the left a bag of lies, right? If you sold them 4, 6 years a bag of lies, rallying around, and then they lost, how much you can't keep selling that bag of lies, right? And Stephen Colbert just wanted to preach his left-wing dogma, and it was never funny. So after and CBS was propping him up, paying him, losing money, and they still allowed him to get away with this nonsense. All those skits you showed, the vaccine skit, who could find that stuff funny in
Seriously.
American comedy, right?
Not everybody, but a lot of them are getting more and more into that. I'm wondering though, why? Why do you think that is?
Well, Greg Gutfeld over at Fox, they reach about 70 million homes.
Okay.
And the Late Show reaches somewhat of near 300 million homes. In the last quarter, Colbert got about 2.5 million viewers. Gutfeld's show got 3.5 million. Stick it at two-thirds, only one-third the amount of homes. And the guy that just sticks to a little bit of politics and is all comedy beats you. That proves that if you just stick to comedy, Stephen, you would have had a show. And you would have been able to sell advertising. You wouldn't have offended half of the country. But no, they just can't. Ideology to these people is their Bible. Most of them don't have the Bible. Most of them don't have such strong values. So
Sure.
their religion is politics on the left.
Yeah, it is. But still, I don't know why there's just this obsession with it, with cramming it down the American people's throats. And you can say what you will about partisanship and politics, but having dancing vaccines on your show, I think that's a pretty new low, even for someone like Stephen Colbert. So I wanted to specifically get your thoughts about that. Yeah.
And the nerve, he's working for CBS, worked for Paramount, and then he went off and criticized them when they made that decision to settle with Trump. Only 16 million they settled, criticizing them, how dare you, it's a bad move. Meanwhile, 60 Minutes, their prime show, their prime magazine, who sets kind of like the agenda for the week for a lot of the major media, obviously gave Kamala a softball. She couldn't even answer the softball, so they edited it, and that was playing partisan politics to do a presidential election. And that's why they settled. And then imagine you work for the company and you go criticize your own boss on national TV.
Yeah, objectively bad move. But final question then for you, because I really don't understand this. I get it, they're ditching his program, but they're also ditching the Late Show altogether. Why do you think that is?
I think they own the NFL as well, right? They're so in the sports industry. I don't know if they can go to the bent of having a normal person because it's so left, but maybe they'll just use the NFL brand and have a sports at night. And just because most of the country loves the NFL, and people would watch that and they'd get great ratings, right? And maybe that's an easy avenue for them.
Okay, understood. We'll have to see what happens, but I do think a lot of people, it's interesting to see how the mixed reaction, like you said, some people who loved him and loved that kind of partisanship, they're very upset right now, but I think most of us are just pretty relieved, and either way, I think all of us can understand the business decision here. It's a financial move, so set your politics aside. He's not making you guys any money, so it's just not worth the squeeze. So I think it's very common sense and logical. I support it for a lot of reasons anyway, but I want to thank you for your time today and your insights.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for having me.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.